NPH. Leaders in Canadian basketball.
Coach, you guys just advanced to the quarterfinals, beating a very solid DeVille team. We mentioned before that you guys kind of played both similar style of basketball, very defensive oriented and a physical brand of basketball, the final score being 36-35. Talk a little bit about the game and kind of the difference in the style of play as opposed to all the other games that you've played thus far.
Well, it's tough because you don't get as many possessions. The margin for error is very slim. So because both teams are playing basically mirror image styles, you're all about possessions. You're all about being patient and trying to basically, mount against mistakes, right? So you're always trying to be, again, making the ball, be very disciplined, and just trying to capitalize on mistakes. But that takes time off the clock. I mean, there is no shot clock in Ontario high school basketball, so you kind of use that to your advantage, and both teams did. So every possession was key. If you were a fan of defensive basketball, it was great. If you want an up and down type, run and gun style, it is what it is. But defense wins championships, and that's the type of game we play, and we're successful. And credit Douville. I mean, they're an awesome team.
Yeah, for sure. Now, so let's talk a little bit about the event overall. Making it to OFSAA, win or lose, you guys have advanced, so you guys will be taking on JC Richardson. But win or lose for any other team, just talk about the experience that it is for the players, both the players and the coaches, to just make it this far and being able to be representing Ottawa. Not just the school, but the whole city. Just talk about the experience.
I mean, it's second to none. I mean, for the graduating players, I've got a couple that are going to go on to play university. So, if they don't make the final 8 in the CIS, I mean, this is the highlight of their career. So, from a graduating standpoint, you're playing against the best. You want to kind of gauge where you are. So, from a graduating standpoint, it's an awesome experience. I've got a couple grade 11s that are coming back that are going to. I mean, this is leaps and bounds. I mean, the improvement that I've seen from November to now, and in a venue and forum such as OFSAA Quad A, I mean, it's going to benefit them in years to come as well in their basketball career. And as a coach, I mean, you're coaching against the top guys, and so I'm a competitive guy, and I want to be challenged as well. And you've got so many great coaches, so many great players. It's just an unbelievable experience.
Now talk about the atmosphere and the energy that was in the building for, I'm not sure if you've witnessed the games with HB Beale and their home crowd. Talk about how much of that is a factor if you are to play HB Beale and how being against a crowd of that nature.
Well, I mean, we went out to Saskatoon, so we played in the Brit, and we played in front of 1,500 people, and we played in front of Saskatoon teams, and so we've played a schedule that's been very tough. That's we've been able to adapt and be ready for almost any opportunity in any sort of situation. So if Beale happens to get to the finals, and I think actually we'll have to meet them in the semis, so it wouldn't be the finals, but you can be rest assured that they'll take that momentum and the energy from the crowd and use it in their favor. And again, we've got to step up our game, and it's us against the world, and that's the way it's been. I mean, that's the way we play, and our 12 guys just go out and we do what we do best. We can't worry about what other teams do, and but it's an exciting time. It was great to see the Beale gym packed, and again, I'm sure they're using this home court crowd to their advantage by advancing. And again, there's still 3 more games to play if we're fortunate enough, and our road is definitely a tough one.
Now, we just talked about the semifinals, but before we get to that, let's talk about what's going on next. We're talking about the JC Richardson Storm, which you guys have got a taste of at the Eastern Commerce Classic. So just talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing to have your guys to place a high caliber team, currently ranked number 4 according to the NPH rankings. So talk a little bit about what you have in mind to prepare your guys.
Our game plan doesn't change. I mean, we have to slow the game down. We have to play at our pace and set the tempo. That's plain and simple. If we can't run and gun against some of the top teams, the Jay Clarks, the Vaughns, and even Loyola plays a very good, GTA up tempo system. So, if we can keep the score within the 50s, 60s, we have a chance to win the game. If it's in the 80s, I don't like our chances. So, they're very solid. We got to catch them on a cold day. We'll play our zones and some matchup combination zones. If they happen to not shoot the ball well, we're going to have a chance. But, they're talented, they're more experienced, they've been in certain situations, they probably played a tougher schedule, they're probably ticked that they lost to Pickering, so there's motivation there to actually prove that they belong here. But overall, I mean, we saw the Eastern Commerce Tournament, that was a fantastic event, so we've seen it, we've played against it, and, hey, got 32 minutes, and our kids have to work hard and deserve. We'll have to deserve the win. So.
Now you just touched on catching JC Richardson on a cold day. That's going to be a little bit tough when you got Aaron Redpath, a great shooter on that team. So, and you did mention also that you will be playing a zone. Any in terms of the game plan and playing a box and one, or any type of thing to shut a player like him down or trying to take him out of the game a little bit?
I think you got to go with the flow. If he's got his game going, you just kind of go with it. So, I think they've got a number of weapons. So, whether it's a triangle and two or a tandem and three and maybe a box and one, it all depends. So we have to read the flow of the game because, once the ball goes up, you got certain players that are firing. So, if Aaron happens to not have a great day shooting the ball, they still have some weapons, but we really have to establish our half-court defense. The key is actually, once we shoot the basketball, whether we hit or miss, we got to run back and make sure that we establish our half-court defense so that they actually have to move the ball around. And again, as long as we get back, play solid defense, rebound, and hit our shots, there's no magic formula. That's it.
Well, that was head coach Tony House, the Sacred Heart Huskies, and they're ready for the quarterfinals. This is Tarek Sbiat, NorthPoleHoops.com.
NPH. Leaders in Canadian basketball.